Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. It's Wednesday. It's the Federal Reserve Day. It's the day everybody's waiting for. We got June 16th today. The Federal Reserve is going to come out and they're going to tell us what they're going to do. Now, this is a day that people have been waiting for. This is a big Fed meeting. A lot of people think there's going to be a change in policy. A lot of people think that the Fed has to address the fact that there's a lot of inflation out there. What is the Fed going to do? Well, they're going to come out with stuff today. They're going to come out and say, look it, the economy's getting better. Just look at the stock market. Fed, I got news for you. The economy and the stock market are two different things right now. They're not the same. They're not the same. The Federal Reserve, they just don't get it. Fed Chairman Powell, he doesn't get it. Now, he thinks the stock market is like a car, that the engine's overheating. Okay, so the engine's overheating in the stock market, and Powell wants to step on the gas. He wants to make the car go faster. He's hoping that the wind from this faster car will cool the engine. No, the wind's not going to cool the engine. The engine's overheating. The car is going to catch fire. It's going to blow up. It's all going to burn down. Fed Chairman Powell, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, but he doesn't have a choice here. So what's the Fed going to do today? Well, let me tell you. They're going to do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're not going to raise interest rates. They cannot. They're not going to stop printing money. They cannot. Do you realize the Federal Reserve has over $8 trillion on their balance sheet, but you haven't seen anything yet. They're going to buy more and more and more, and they have to, otherwise this is all going to come crashing down, and they know this. Now, if it's I just don't understand the Fed. You got the real estate market doing the best it's ever done, but yet they're subsidizing it with between $40 billion to $80 billion of mortgage purchases every month. Now, whose money is that? It's taxpayer money. The Fed doesn't have any money. All they can do is print the money, and that's what they're going to do. But when they print the money, that's like a tax. That's like a tax. A tax to me and you, the taxpayer, okay? It's a tax because your money becomes worth so much less. Now, we got inflation running rampant. I mean, it is taking off. We've never seen it take off so fast. But here's the Fed. Oh, don't worry. It's all transitory. It's just temporary. Now, first of all, the Fed doesn't have a clue if it's transitory or not transitory. It may be transitioning right into hyperinflation. They don't know. I can tell you that for a fact. You cannot get two economists to agree on anything. They don't have a clue if this inflation is transitory. What they do know is they don't have any way to fight the inflation anymore. They don't have any way. They can't raise interest rates. They cannot stop printing money. They cannot. If they stop printing money, everything comes down. They raise interest rates, everything comes down. Now, who do you think the Fed's going to help out here? Now, it would be good if they stopped printing money. It would be good if they raised interest rates, because that would actually make this inflation problem go away. Okay? But they can't do that. Now, do they want to help rich people, or do they want to help poor people? They're killing poor people. Look at poor people. They can't afford to go to the gas station and pay $5 a gallon for gas. What happens when gas becomes $10? What happens when a loaf of bread becomes $10? It kills the poor people. But what does it do to the rich people? The people with the assets become very wealthy, okay? Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, these guys are making billions and billions and billions of dollars every time the Fed prints more money. They just are getting wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, but at the expense of the poor. In our country, never before have so few gotten so wealthy at the expense of so many. It's very sad what's going on. It's very sad. Now, J.P. Morgan came out the other day and they say they got $500 billion in cash sitting on the balance sheet. Why? Because J.P. Morgan doesn't believe that inflation's temporary. They think that the inflation's here to stay, and they think the Fed's going to have to raise interest rates, which is going to send everything down. Then they're going to put their $500 billion to work. Now, when was the last time we had inflation take off like this? It was back in the 1970s. 1970s. Okay, so how did they stop this rampant inflation in the 1970s? They raised interest rates. Do you know what they raised them to? What they had to raise them to stop the massive inflation? They had to raise them to 20%. What happens when we raise interest rates to 20%? Say goodbye to your house value. Say goodbye to the stock market. These will come crashing back to earth. But they are in bubbles. You'll hear them pop, pop, pop. Now, one interesting point. People say, well, in the 70s, inflation was, was running 13, 14, 15%. Mike, we're only at 6%. That's what the government will tell you. Well, they measure inflation a little different now than they did back in the 70s. In the 70s, they counted gas, they counted oil, they counted food, they counted housing. They don't count those things in the CPI right now. Okay, so that's why they say inflation's only 6%, but it's really up around 10, 15%. It's just as much as it was back in the 70s. And if they want to stop it, they're going to have to raise interest rates to 20%. But mark my words, they're not going to do that. They can't do that. They know that the game is over. The game is over right now. It's done. The Fed is done. They have no power. No power. They can talk. They're going to talk. And that's what's interesting today. They're going to talk about maybe changing policy. They're going to talk about maybe raising interest rates. They can't do it, though. They cannot. It's impossible. And once the market discovers that it's impossible, inflation's just going to run rampant and the market's going to come crashing back to earth. But not yet. Not yet. They're not done printing of the money. And when they can print another, that balance sheet's $8 trillion right now. I bet it's 16 trillion within 2 years. Maybe within. They're going to double the balance sheet. There's no question. They're going from 8 trillion with the T, to 16 trillion. And that's going to happen relatively quick. They're going to keep printing money. So if their talk, and it's only talk, if their talk makes the market come in. And I actually hope the market comes in. I'm out of the market right now. I'm pretty flat. I don't have many positions on. Yes, I own some gold and silver. Yes, I own a little bit of Bitcoin. Okay, those are fighting the inflation that is here. Those are good investments right now. Gold, Bitcoin help fight the inflation. Protect yourself against it. But as far as market positions, I'm pretty flat right now, okay? I've got cash ready. Cash is a position, and I think you should get some. Now, maybe the market takes off today after the Fed announcement. Maybe, it could. I'm hoping for a pullback. I don't think the risk-reward justifies these prices. And until we get that pullback, now, when we get that pullback, I do think it's a buying opportunity. I don't think the crash is coming yet. I think if we can get that market to pull back 10%, put the money to work because the Fed is going to print money at a faster rate than they ever have done before. They're going to step on that accelerator of the overheating engine. That engine's so overheated, but they're going to step on that accelerator. They're going to get that car going as fast as they can. They're just going to blow this up. They're going to burn the dollar to the ground is what they're going to do. They have no respect for the dollar. They're just going to print it and print it and print it. Now, right now, I do expect the market to pull back soon. Why? Because there's just too much optimism. People don't even think the market can pull back. Oh my God, just wait for the big crash. When the big crash happens, now it's not here yet. It's not happened yet, okay? I don't think it's going to happen yet, but it's coming. It's coming, okay? Now, when the big crash happens, it's going to be 70, 80. Oh, could be 90% of the stock market value just getting wiped out very quickly. Anyways, that's not here yet. That's down the road. That's going to come, and it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen yet because the Fed can still print massive amounts of money. Now, they're going to tell you today they might even use the word taper. Oh, if they use the word taper, that market's really going to come down. It's going to come down. But it's Fed Day. It's exciting. It's what everybody's been waiting for. Market's flat right now, but I think there might be some fireworks after it. Could be fireworks up, could be down. But it's coming. The fireworks is coming. It's coming this week. Maybe not today. Maybe this is a big nothing burger. Maybe the traders have to adjust in their mind what the Fed says today. But believe me, the fireworks is coming, and it's coming this week. And I think it's going to come to the downside, and that's where I'm going to put my money to work. Now, of course, you got to do your own research and do what you feel is right to do. I'm just a stock market gambler. My name's Tall Mike. Get out there and have a great Wednesday, and let's see what that Fed meeting brings. We'll talk again real soon. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, hit the subscribe button so me and you can talk. Some more. I have about maybe 50 people who will watch this. You'll be one of them. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.